Hi folks, in this Warhammer Underworlds Embergard video I am going to go through the assembly of the models. I want to keep this low-key and accessible for everyone. We can all do this. These models are designed to be push-fit. This means that the pegs in the model are able to hold the whole figure together and you don't need to use any glue. It's a great way to get new gamers up and running a bit more easily. Here I have three tools that I use in assembling models. Clippers are a tool that we use to remove the parts from the sprue or runner, which is the plastic frame that holds all of these parts together and allows for the casting of them. They're flat on one edge, and this is the side we use against the part to give us a nice clean cut. Next we have a scalpel or an X-Acto blade. We want a sharp blade here. This can be used to remove nubbins and any extra sprue that remains attached to the part after clipping. The scalpel is probably the least important of the three tools, as it can be left out if you're careful and accurate with the clippers and the emery boards. Speaking of, that's the third tool, emery boards or nail files. These are a type of sanding stick that you can find in hobby stores or any drugstore. I like the ones with a foam center to help get around corners and into more confined spaces. There are a huge array of styles and grits for these. I recommend finding the narrowest one that you can to allow you to get into more narrow, confined areas of the model. Grit is a measure of the roughness of the boards. The bigger the number, the smoother the board. Although I have a selection here, I'm only going to use the 240-240 board. I find grit from 180 to 400 to be pretty universally usable for hobbying. It's rough enough to remove a good amount of plastic without being so rough as to leave scratches on the surface after priming. More on priming in the next video. The box comes with a very handy assembly guide to help you put your models together. Warhammer Underworlds models are some of the best looking figures the Games Workshop produces, in my opinion. However, you do have to be a little careful when assembling them, as they can be a bit fragile. I strongly recommend that younger gamers get an adult to help them here. The last thing you want is that tail to get broken on your nice new Skaven model. We're going to go through assembling our first model together, and then I'll do a little bit of cinema magic to get the rest of my models ready for the tabletop. So let's begin. We're going to start with step 1, which I think means we're assembling the Stormcast Eternal model, Ardorn. First thing we do is we look for the part numbers we're going to need, and then we clip those parts on the sprue. We're going to take our clippers and carefully cut through the contact points to free the parts. Be careful here. This is easily the most common way that I damage models. With the part removed, we want to just clean them up a bit. How much effort you put into this is up to you. Some folks won't do anything here, some will go through levels of sanding to get a really smooth finish so that the contact points are totally invisible, even without paint. Most of us are a little in between. I want to be able to run my fingers over the area without feeling the nubbin. In harder to reach areas, I won't even go this far, just remove any obvious bits of sprue. Once we've cleaned the parts, it's time to assemble. This is even easier than most models because we don't need any glue. You just have to push the parts together. I will sometimes sand down the pegs a little, just at the very ends, to make it easier to push the models together, give them a closer fit. Now, to do the rest of the model. all the models done, we can get to playing. Or we can go the extra mile and paint them up. Join me in the next video where I'll take you through how to paint these models with just a few paints and a brush. And as ever, if you could like, comment and subscribe, all of those things help me, help the channel. Let me know in the comments what I'm doing well, what I'm doing badly, what you want to see more of. Do you want bat reps? Do you want more painting tutorials? Do you want me to get fancier with my painting, or am I already going too far? Let me know, and thanks for watching. Later days.